Hello crochet friends, and welcome back to Yarn Over Hook. My name is Sammy, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to do the thermal stitch. This is a very dense stitch. It's almost like two single crochet panels crocheted together and then smushed together really hard. This one is great for bag straps, pop pads, washcloths. Honestly, I'd recommend anything on the smaller side because this one is a yarn eater and it crochets up pretty slowly. However, I am excited to show you how to do this one today, so let's hop into it. To begin your thermal stitch project, you want to chain any number of chains plus 1. Then turn it over. We're going to work in the bumps. We're going to skip this first bump here and do a standard single crochet into the second bump from our hook. So we'll insert our hook into that second bump, yarn over, and pull through. Yarn over, pull through both loops on our hook. And then in the next bump, we're going to work another single crochet. So we'll insert our hook, yarn over, and pull through. Yarn over, pull through both loops on our hook. And we will just work a single crochet into each bump all the way across, and I will meet you at the end. Alrighty, we have reached our last bump here. We're going to work a standard single crochet into that last bump. And that completes our first row. From here, we're just going to chain 1 and turn. On this second row, we are going to work single crochets all the way across, just like we did on that first row. However, we are going to work in the back loops only. You can tell these are the back loops only because they are the loops of the V that are furthest away from you. Not these ones that are close to you. Those are the front loop only. So we're going to work in the back loop only, the loops that are furthest away from us in these V's. So we'll insert our hook into this first stitch here in the back loop only. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through both loops on our hook. And then we're going to do the same thing all the way across, working single crochets in the back loops only. So we'll insert our hook into that next stitch in the back loop only. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through both loops on our hook. And into the next stitch, back loop only. And the next one. And I will meet you at the end. Alrighty, we are at our last stitch, so we're going to work one last single crochet in the back loop only of this last stitch. And there we go. So if you see this row of loops here, then you know that you went into the back loop only. If you don't see these loops, you might want to go back and double check that you went into the back loop. Then from here, we're going to chain 1 and turn. This row will be our repeat row. We're going to work single crochets into the back loops, just like we did on that previous row. However, we're going to also work into those loops that we didn't work into from 2 rows prior. So we're going to catch both the back loop of the previous row and that remaining loop from the previous row. So we'll insert our hook into the back loop only of the previous row that we just finished. And then we are going to insert our hook into that remaining loop as well from 2 rows prior, the previous row. So we'll insert our hook into that as well. And then we're going to complete this stitch like a standard single crochet. So we'll yarn over. We're going to pull through that remaining loop and that back loop. We'll have 2 loops on our hook, so we'll yarn over and pull through. If you look really closely, You'll notice that that single crochet picked up both of those loops. That's what's going to create that very dense texture. That's what gives that kind of simulation that there's two single crochet panels smushed together, because it kind of is working up like that. So let's do the next stitch. We're going to insert our hook into that back loop only, and then down into that remaining loop from the previous row. Yarn over and pull through both of those loops. We have 2 loops remaining on our hook. We'll yarn over and pull through both of those loops. Let's do that again really slowly. We're going to insert our hook into that back loop only. And then we'll insert our hook into the remaining loop from that previous row. Yarn over and pull through both of those loops. With 2 loops remaining on our hook, we'll yarn over and pull through both of those loops. And we're going to do that same thing all the way across to our last stitch. And we have reached our last stitch. This one we're going to have to look really nice and carefully, because by pulling up those remaining loops from the previous row, we've kind of squished our loops together by the end. So you want to identify that remaining single crochet and that V. Identify the back loop of that V. We'll insert our hook into that. Pulling that up some, we'll stretch out those stitches so that we can identify the last loop from the previous row that we need to go into. So we'll insert our hook into that loop as well. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through both loops on our hook. And there we go. That is our first official row of our thermal stitch. Let's do one more just to be safe. So we'll chain 1 and then turn. And then from here, we're just going to do exactly what we did on that previous row. We are going to work into the back loops and the remaining loops from the previous row. So we'll insert our hook into that back loop and then that remaining loop. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through both loops on our hook. And we'll do it again. Insert your hook into that back loop only. And then that remaining loop. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through both loops on our hook. And we'll do that all the way across. Back loop only. Remaining loop, yarn over, pull through both of those loops, 2 loops on our hook, we'll yarn over and pull through both loops. Let's keep going all the way across. And we have reached the end again, so let's locate that last stitch, the V of that last stitch. We're going to insert our hook into that back loop. And then we have that remaining loop right here. So we'll insert our hook into that as well. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through both loops on our hook. And then chain 1 to end that row. Just as a little tip here, for that last row, when you identify that last stitch and you identify that back loop only, you want to be sure that you are going into that remaining loop and not your chain. Definitely keep an eye out for that. Make sure that those loops are lining up nice and neatly and go straight through them, making sure not to grab your chain here. And then from here, you'll turn and you'll just repeat that all the way up until your desired length. This one makes a really good bag strap because it doesn't have a whole lot of stretch. It is a very dense stitch. You can see the layers in there. Let me know what you end up making with this stitch. I am so excited to hear about all of your projects. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ding the bell so that you know when we upload a new video. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye!